Have you heard somebody tell you that you just need to raise your vibration? You just got to raise your vibration. We've all heard it, especially if we've been around this work at all, right? And what exactly does that mean? And why is it important to be what I call, it's actually, I heard one of my teachers call it, being a relentless champion for your vibration. What in the heck does that even mean? And why is it important? My name is Felicia Searcy, your Dream Life Activator. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. And in this live, I want to help you understand what is this thing, this concept of raising your vibration and being a relentless champion for your vibration. And why is that important? And if you want more of this and you want help really connecting the dots of, not just having information and not just saying, oh my God, I believe in this, but really having an understanding of how to apply it consistently where you actually see the changes in your results and in your life, I have a surprise that I'm going to share with you when we're all said and done with this. All right, so you know the drill. You've heard this, right? That you're a student of universal law. You're a student of the law of attraction. You know that your vibration, that you just have to raise your vibration. Put in the comments if you've ever heard yourself say, I just have to raise my vibration. I just have to raise my vibration. But when you look at what's going on in your life, you can see that there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect between you actually saying those words and then what's happening in the land of your results. And you swear to God, you know this stuff, you believe in this stuff, but why isn't it happening to the level that you want, and why isn't it not happening as quickly as you want? You've got this thing that you long to do. You know you are meant for something so much bigger than what your current life is. Now, your current life is great. Let's make it really clear. Your current life is great. And you know that you're meant for so much more. And you study this and you work with it, but yet it just feels like that you're walking through molasses, that things just aren't moving as quickly as you like them to move. Or things aren't happening as big and bold as you would like for it to happen. What's going on? Well, one of the things that I've never heard it termed this way. I mean, this is the work that I do, but I've never heard it termed this way, where I heard somebody say that you have to be a relentless champion for your vibration. A relentless champion for your vibration. I want you to write that down. If somebody put it in the comment section, as you're listening to this, in order for you to create the thing that you long to create, you have to be a relentless champion of your vibration. Now, what does that even mean, right? Well, let's go back to some basics. And again, any of you who follow me and have heard me speak to this before, you know that I'm just going to keep coming back and coming back and coming back and reminding you of who you are as this amazing, unlimited being with unlimited capacity to create. It's crazy how powerful you are. So let's just take a moment and let that sink in. Let it sink in. That just bask in the awareness of knowing yourself as this indescribable, unlimited, powerful being with unlimited capacity to create anything that you can think up, anything that you desire. Just bask in that. The reason you can bask in it is because there's a part of you, there's that essential part, there's that essential you that recognizes this as truth. You hear this and you know it's true. You hear it as truth. Now, what is this creative capacity? It's your thinking capacity. I love that quantum physics is now proving what spiritual masters have taught throughout the ages. What you predominantly mentally rehearse in this faculty of your imagination, this amazing image-making faculty, and charged with your emotions. There's an energy to it. There's a vibration to it. That vibration literally is sending signals to this field of energy around us, this invisible field around us, where there are waves of what quantum physics calls unformed energy hanging out in what they call superposition. And in some fantastical way, your thinking and your feeling becomes the organizing pattern for this energy around us, and it creates your results. It's the organizing pattern and it's the magnetizing pattern. It's the basic explanation of a law of attraction, which is actually a secondary law because the real law is the law of vibration. All right, so look at it this way. What's the cause of our results? First, you have thoughts. Now, when I'm saying thoughts, I'm talking images. We think in images. If I say front door, you see your front door. If I say car, you see your car. You don't see D-O-O-R or C-A-R, or you don't see like a snapshot of it. You actually see a movie. Like when I think of those things, I see myself physically getting into my car, or see it parked out on the street in front of my house. But it's in the form of a movie, not like a still. And that's an important distinction, because when we talk about your thoughts, what we're actually talking about are the movies you're running in your mind. Joseph Murphy talks about, he wrote the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. He talks about how you literally have a movie theater of the mind. You're constantly showing movies in your mind. Those movies then generate feelings, physiological sensations in your beingness, in your physiology. Those thoughts and feelings, or sensations actually, because it's the sensations that then becomes the conversation with this invisible field. Those thoughts and those physiological sensations now become the conversation between you and this invisible field. It becomes like the direction to this invisible field. What also happens with your thoughts and your feelings, your thoughts are those sensations that your feelings are causing, is that it shows you the way you see yourself. You will never outperform the way you see yourself. It's your identity. It's how you relate to yourself and how you relate to life. What that does is that it determines ideas that you hear or not, opportunities that you see or not, which then determine your actions. They determine your actions, and they determine the way in which you take your actions, which then create your results. Now, what's the cause of those initial images? It's where you're placing your attention. And you have a habit around where you focus your attention. Another way of looking at this. Now, the thing I want you to hear is that your dream, the purpose of your dream, is to grow you into this amazing, magnificent version, even more. You're amazing as you are, just as you are. Right now, it's breathtaking how amazing you are. And you have a dream. You have a desire for something more. That's life seeking a richer, freer, fuller expression through you and by means of you. It's life wanting more for you, from you, and through you. And so here you are, brilliant woman who is so accomplished in your own right now, and bring to mind your dream. Whatever that dream is. Now you're in a business Facebook group, and so what's the dream around your business? What's the dream around your service? This thing in between, that's the gap. It's the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And here's the thing about that gap. Here's the purpose of that gap. That gap is where you raise your vibration. The gap is where you grow into the woman who's a match for what you say you want. Right now, you are a perfect fit for your current life. You're not a fit for your dream life. How do we know? You don't have it in your results. If we really believe that our thinking has something to do with our results, then we understand that our results, what's happening in our world, is just simply a barometer. It's a feedback loop of how we are seeing ourselves and what we are allowing. The dream is inviting you to see yourself differently and allow more, allow a greater capacity, allow more abundance. And so the purpose of the dream is for you to grow in your awareness, grow your vibration, in order to be able to now be a vibrational match for your dream. You have to become a vibrational match for your dream. That's law. That's law. And what's really happening as you're navigating that gap is that you're growing. You're spiritually maturing. You're becoming more aware. You're becoming more awake. You're becoming more present. You know, recently I heard, and then I morphed and worked with this. When you look at the process of navigating that gap, the process of becoming a vibrational match for your dream, there's a continuum that you grow up, that you grow along. First thing that happens is that you have an aha, an awareness, an insight. It's like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. It's a mind-blowing awareness. Or you hear it again and you hear yourself saying, I believe that, I believe that. That's insight. That is barely scratching the surface. The mistake that people make is that you confuse insight for truly understanding and application. Now, once you gain insight, now remember, we're navigating the gap. Once you gain insight, you want to work with that aha, work with that awareness until you begin to trust it. You begin to see the evidence happen in your life, and now you're beginning to trust that insight. The more you work with building a sense of trust, a trust in your vision, a trust in these universal laws, a trust in this infinite intelligence that's moving through you, a trust in your capacity to be able to do this, you start stacking more evidence that in fact this works. The more evidence you stack, the more confident you become that this is really working for you and you can do this. Then you move to a place of knowing, where you're still having to think about working with your vibration. You're still having to work with thinking about, doing the things to keep your vibration high, to keep you in a place of awareness and presence and deep well-being, in order to be that attractive force for all of the resources that you need. And the more you work with that, then you do what's called embodied. And when you are embodied a image, when you have embodied a particular possibility, now you've normalized it. It has become your normal in your life. It is now your routine. And you don't really think about it. You don't have to consciously intend to do something. You're just it. One of the things that I work on with people is building your ability to embody a greater degree of wealth. Wealth is just a sense of abundance. And we all have a set point for how much abundance, how much wealth we will allow ourselves. And I will never forget, I was building this business out and, wanting to serve more people. And I had a goal in mind to turn my monthly income into my annual income. And I was making mid five figures. I was right around 50,000, 60,000. And I did that, for a very long time, for years. And the first month, I turned my monthly income, turned my annual income into my monthly income. My whole system just went crazy. It went wild. I didn't know how to accommodate that much good energy. And so I had to work with the tools that I am going to share with you here in a second, in order to be able to embody that identity of being the woman who is generating that level of abundance in her life. And now it's my routine and more. It's my routine and more. I've embodied it. This is my vibration. It is my energetic signature. It is my routine. And this is what I am now transmitting and communicating to the field around me. All right, so how do we do this? How do we grow your vibration in order for you to become a match for what it is that you say that you want, for your dream, your vision? How do we navigate that gap to move from insight to embodiment, where you have reorganized to such a degree that the energy is reorganizing your life around you? How do you do that? Number one, have a vision. If we really believe that our thoughts, or the movie that we're running across the movie screen of our mind, has something to do with our results, then you want to take dominion. You want to take control over the projector. You want to show a movie that lights you up in the presence of it. So you want a very clear vision. You want a vision that absolutely lights you up. Then you want to begin to build a relationship with the woman who achieved that vision before a single thing in your world changes. So you begin to do what I call zip yourself into the skin of the woman who achieved that vision. You begin to ask, if it all worked out, how would you feel? What would I be doing in this moment? What would I be doing in this moment that it is an indication that I have embodied this identity, that I have embodied this new possibility, that I have embodied this routine? How would I be doing things, and what would I be doing? Then you want to work deeply with this amazing gift called your attention. We've been given this. Remember, what's the, if you know, go back and listen to this. If you're popping in later, you want to go back and listen to this. What's the thing that triggers the movie? It's where you place your attention. Where have you placed your attention? And as I have the image and I'm navigating that gap, I want to be super mindful about where it is that I'm placing my attention. So I learn to notice what I'm noticing. I pay attention to what I'm paying attention to. My dream, your dream, the top of this gap, this next iteration of this even more magnificent version of you, it's going to inform what you should be paying attention to. And one of the things that you should be paying attention to is the things that are working. We have become so skilled at noticing the things that aren't working. And we look at them and we think, I got to fix this. I got to figure it out. And for every moment your focus is on something that's not working, it's a moment that you don't get to pay attention to what is working. The reason why this is important is that when you do what I call stack your wins, you start noticing the things that are moving in your life, even if they're micro moves. You build confidence, you build a sense of assurance. This is the evidence. As you're going through the gap, this is you stacking the evidence that in fact it's working and you're working. And it's working for you. So stack the evidence. Now, with that is gratitude. That you want to stay in a place of awareness of what's working and be deeply grateful as you notice the power, this universal intelligence that's at work for you. Again, the more you do this, the more you build the trust to knowing, to the ability to embody it, to where now it's your normal. So number one, vision. Number two, put it on. Number three, notice what's working and generate gratitude. Number four, you want to be what Wallace Wattles, the author of The Science of Getting Rich, talks about being a person of increase. You want to be the person that when you come into somebody else's life, you impact them, that you leave them feeling better about themselves. Now, in order to be a person of increase, to be deeply committed to serving, you have to really stare down the part of you that wants to get. I want to get money. I want to get clients. I want to get. That energy of get is an energy of scarcity. It's actually pushing your good away. But when you dedicate yourself, when you devote yourself to being of high service, of being that woman of increase, you are now in a place of greater vulnerability, and you are sending this signal of your awareness that you live in an abundant universe. We can't give unless we feel abundant. The antithesis of scarcity is abundance. The antithesis of abundance is scarcity. In order to truly be that woman of increase, where you are bringing increase to people, you have to be in a place of abundance. You have to know abundance. You have to vibrate abundance. And when you are vibrating abundance, because you're noticing what's working, you have a vision, you're putting it on, you're being grateful, and you're deeply committed to serving, now you are vibrating abundance. And the only thing, you are raising your vibration as you're navigating that gap. The only thing the universe can do is organize accordingly. The only thing the universe can do is organize around abundance. Think about that. The universe can't do anything else other than what you are communicating, what you are directing it to do. So, vision, putting on the identity of being the woman who's doing this. You're paying attention to the things that are working. You're stacking your wins. You're really working with this energy of gratitude, and you're being a relentless champion. Deep and profound gratitude, physiologically and sensationally, literally working with it in your body. Then you're being that woman of increase. How can I serve? How can I bring more good? How can I support you in expanding goodness in your life from a place of abundance, from a place of true abundance, knowing what your source is, knowing that the universe is never withholding. The universe never withholds from you. And the final step is to have a relentless champion in your corner. You know, one of the things that I'm deeply committed to is making sure that I have people around me that are further down the path than I am, and I give them access to my thinking. I don't ever want to dream that I can do on my own. If I can do it on my own, it's not big enough. And in order to raise my vibration, I have to have somebody help me see those places where I slip back into the old energetic signature, the old vibration, the old pattern that created my current result. Now here's the thing, none of you is suffering. None of you are really suffering. That's not to say that there are not situations in your life that may be painful or difficult, but the very fact that you've got a computer and you have access to be in this group, it's an indication that there are things that are going well in your life. And life is wanting more for you. Life is wanting more. And so the final step is to have somebody who can be a relentless champion for you, that you give them access to your thinking to help you see where you've slipped back into that old vibration. It's so subtle. It's so subtle how we slip back into conversations, how we slip back into noticing what's not working, how you slip back into the old beingness. I mean, you have so many reps. Your body is so attuned to this level of being. It's not attuned to this next level of possibility. You have not taught it how to accommodate a greater degree of freedom, a greater degree of flow in your life. So having somebody outside the frame help you see and help you come back into being that vibrational match for your dream, it's imperative. It is absolutely imperative. So with that said, let me share with you how I would love to serve you. This is what I do. This is my wheelhouse. I have used the formula that I'm sharing with you to build out my high, multiple, six-figure business where I have the honor of serving the dreams of thousands of people around the world. We live in a place that we absolutely love. My husband and I continue to grow deeper in love. In fact, he wrote me a love letter this morning after being together for 34 years. Every area of my life just keeps getting better and my dream just keeps growing. This is what I get to bring you. So let me help you. Friday, this coming Friday, January 15th, from 11 to 12:30 Pacific time. I'm in California right now, 11 to 12:30 Pacific time. I'm offering a free masterclass, 3 keys to creating your best year ever. We're on the front end of 2021. Let's get you going for 2021. We'll dig deep into everything that you're hearing, dig deep into a formula to help you get clear about your dream and learn how to be a relentless champion for your vibration in order for you to navigate that gap where you are in a place of embodiment of what it is that you desire. The link to register is up in the description. Come join us. Come join us. And let me help you discover who you really are, what's possible for you, and how to be a relentless champion for your vibration. All right, so let's bring this in for a close. Here's the thing I want you to hear. If you get nothing else, I want you to hear that you are unlimited in your capacity to create. It's crazy how powerful you are. Your dream is the way that unlocks that power. In order for you to live your dream as you navigate the gap, you have to become a relentless champion for your vibration. You do that by having a vision, putting on being the person, noticing the things that are working for you, notice the things that you're grateful for, be a person of increase, dedicate yourself to serving, and let somebody help you. And then come hang out with me this Friday, January 15th, 11 to 12:30 Pacific time, where we will dig into this process and really help you ground it and move you forward in order for you to live, create, and live the life that you love, knowing that this is your highest contribution to the body of humanity. My name is Felicia Searcy. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. Your dream is the reason I exist. Mwah! God bless. See you on Friday.